Good morning. It's like Christmas. I got 2 new guitars. You know, it's always good to get something. And it doesn't matter what it is, restring it or get a new effects pedal or get this. It just kind of stokes you and makes you want to practice. Any little new toy you got that's cheap online, man, it just kind of helps you get enthused about it. It's been a long time since I played, probably like 4 years, maybe even longer, since I even touched the guitar. That's another subject for another day because it's just so hard to, practice art, the sensitivities of art and the commerce of working every day. They're just like opposite. They're opposite like spirits. So it's almost impossible, at least for me, it's impossible to put them both together because they're both looking at the world in opposite ways. They're both important and both, viable and critical. Of course, it's only viable if you're making money as an artist. You're not sucking money from someone else, but that's another story too. But they're both viable frames of mind and important, but they're opposites. It's hard for me to put them together. So anyway, I had a couple days. I figured I'd go through my old stuff, and at least I'm working on the guitar. It's kind of like being a mechanic and not really being an artist. You're just kind of building stuff. So it's kind of a bridge, I guess. I'm going through some of my own stuff. I found this full tone distortion pedal. That is a really good distortion. Super smooth buttery. That's one of the best ones out there. That Memory Man, I don't know. I got it, but man, it's just too many controls. I never, every time I put it in, even if I just use it, I feel like I gotta start from scratch because there's just like too much stuff there. So on this bad boy today, I did some intonation on it, and the theory is you want, this is twice the distance as this. It's an octave, this kind of makes sense. It's twice the distance, but it's not, I don't think it's exactly. I think there's like another little higher math to exactly where it places, so you gotta like kind of tune it in. And you want it to stay in tune as you climb up the neck with this point right here. So if your harmonic here is reading, and then you push down here and that's reading it, they both should be in tune. If it's a little bit sharp, then you gotta drop this bridge down so that this creates the same as that. And I'm running out. I think it's because I did this bridge. Oh yeah. And then, so I'm like talking about Renson in my guitar in the last video I did, and I'm like, well, why don't I just look up Renson online to see if he's still around? Like an idiot, I just don't use Google. I don't do that. So I was just like, oh hey, let me look up Renson. So I looked him up, and sure enough, there he was. Bam, his guitar shop right in Studio City, like where it was like in the 80s. And all these reviews and stuff saying he's the best, luthier in Los Angeles area and builds great guitars. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I remember. And then I got like, oh crap, man, what if he sees, what if someone shows him this video and I butchered his guitar? I was like, all of a sudden I got like a little like, like a little hesitation, like, like I'm gonna walk in there and be like, hey, can you guys, tune this thing in, man, just fine tune it, man, and get it playing really good. And they're gonna look at it and go, what did you do to my guitar? I'm like, yeah, well, I put these humbuckers there. He's gonna be like, dude, if I wanted humbuckers in my guitar, I would have put humbuckers in there when I built it. And I'm like, yeah, I made it into a 5-string. Dude, if I wanted it to be a 5-string, I'd have built it as a 5-string. Get out of my shop, get that freaking Frankenstein the hell out of here, and don't ever come back. I was like, so, but maybe not, maybe not. So anyway, I gotta get longer screws for this section right there so that I can pull these saddles forward a little bit. They're almost out of threads right there to get that intonation right. And what I'm also gonna do, I don't know, this is hard to see too, but because I spaced it the 5 strings, I got this little gap. I got like, if you can see the knife, where the fuck is that thing? Okay, right there. I got like a gap between each one like that. So as the strings pull and as you bend, they don't really, but they can kind of go back and forth just a tiny bit, and that affects the tuning as well. So I'm gonna cut little slots right in there, right there. I'm gonna Dremel like little channels for the little Allen wrenches, and they'll be able to stay right in one spot. That should take care of that. That's good. I did the baking soda super glue trick on the old slots on the nut, so that looks kind of cool. It looks pretty good. That's it. Luckily it plays good, man. It plays great this morning. Try to get the intonation in and be fine. I had a bad dream. Like, it's weird. If you ever broken a string when you're playing, and then to continue playing you gotta skip that open spot, and it's like super uncomfortable. It just feels like there's this like, or the Grand Canyon, you're just like, oh God, man, you gotta jump over this giant gap. It just feels, I had like a dream last night that all my strings were like that, because I was a little nervous about this being gapped too far. So I was just like, man, they're all too far, you fucked it up. But then I came in this morning and played it. It was fine, man. I think I'll really be able to get used to it. It worked out really good. All right. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get a couple of different. I'm gonna get a 48. I'm gonna try to bump that down just a hair to try to get a little better feel across there, more equal spacing of the 5 strings. And that's it, man. My next project is gonna be a 10 string. See you.